Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm gonna implement the lobby service in the project. So as expected, we go to the Unity dashboard to our project. Here we go. And we're gonna find the lobby service and launch it. So we click next, next, and finish. So back to our Unity project. So let's create the UI first. Here I've already created 3 panels. So the first one is lobby search. Let's open this. And you'll see that we have a list of lobbies here. So that's the title. That's just something to close the panel. That is to create a new lobby. And this is a list of lobbies. Let's open it. It has a header and we can instantiate items under this content, which each item represents a lobby in our list. So we can instantiate multiple items and player can click on join to join that lobby. So that's our lobby search panel. Let's close it. And so whenever we click on the button in the lobby search to create a new lobby, here we are going to open the lobby settings. Let's see, here it is. And there's a bunch of fields that we could use to create our lobby, or even we can use it to edit our lobby. So we have an input to get the name of the lobby. We have a drop down which determines the visibility of the lobby. It has public and private, so maximum number of players. I've also created some unnecessary inputs, which is a good practice to learn how to add different variables to our lobby. So it has a language, it has a map drop down, it has a game mode, so a button to confirm and a button to cancel. So that's the lobby settings. Let's close that. And finally the lobby panel itself. So if we open this, you'll see that it has a text for the name of the lobby, a button to close, a button to leave the lobby, a button to inform everybody that you are ready to start the game, and a button to start the game, which we make it only available for the host. So there's also a list of players that we need. Here it is in the viewport. We have a lobby player item, which has a text for the name of the player, status of the player, which is ready or not ready, the role, which is a host or just a simple member, and a button for the host to kick out this player from the lobby. So let me disable that. Now that we have our UI set up, we can start writing the code. So we have 3 menus, so we need 3 scripts for those. Let's create them. The first one is lobby menu, and we're going to create another script for our lobby search menu. Another script, here we go. Let's name it lobby settings menu. So another script for our lobby list item, the items that we show in the lobby search, and another script for our lobby player item, which we're gonna use for the list of player in the lobby. So let's create these scripts. And now we go to the package manager, select the lobby project and install it. Let's take care of the lobby list item. We're gonna use the lobby services here and let's clear it. So we need a text for the name, the number of players in the lobby, the host of the lobby, and mode, map, and language of the lobby, a button to join the lobby, and a reference to the lobby. We are passing a lobby and set the data using that, and also a function to join the lobby, and we assign the listeners for the button in the start function. So we are going to take care of the join button after we created the lobby panel. Let's go ahead and quickly set up the lobby player item as well. So we clear it. We use some services here. We need a few text for the name, role, and a status of the player, and a button to kick the player from the lobby, a lobby ID, and a reference to the player. Player exists within the services lobbies models. So we can initialize this item by passing the player, lobby ID and host ID, and we can kick this player by calling the lobby services instance remove player async. I pass the lobby ID and the player ID, which we stored here, and in the start we assign the listener for the button. So in order to create a lobby, let's go to the lobby menu and we clear this. So we inherit from panel and we use some of these services. We are going to create a few variables. So that is the prefab for lobby player item, the container for those items, a text to show the name of the lobby, a button to close the lobby panel, leave lobby, switch between ready and not ready, and start the lobby for the host. Let's create a reference to our lobby as well. Whenever we open the lobby, let's first create a function to clear everything under that player container. So we're gonna grab everything and we're just gonna destroy it. Also, let's create a small function to close the panel. So whenever we want to open this lobby menu, we are going to call this function. We're gonna pass the lobby and it's going to open the panel for this lobby. Now let's get down to business by creating a function to create a lobby. So whenever we want to create a lobby, we pass the name max player is private, mode, map, and language variables. So first of all, we're gonna pop up the loading panel. We're gonna declare a create lobby options. So in these options, we can add a bunch of data. So they're going to be saved with our lobby. So options is private, determines whether our lobby is private or public. Options.data, we're going to pass a bunch of data using this. So the key for the data is a string and the value is of type object data. So here I pass a mode, map, and language, which all of them are a string. So I'm going to create a new data object for each of them. Visibility set to visibility option public, which means they are publicly visible, and I'm gonna put the values that I passed to the function here. Then I'm gonna initialize options player equals a new player. Those options inside options data are lobby data, but the data inside options player.data are player specific data. So these are the data for this account that is creating the lobby. That's the data for the entire lobby, all the players basically. So we're gonna initialize that player data as well, and we are gonna add two records to it. The first one is name, the second one is ready. The name is obviously the name of our players, which we get from authentication service instance player name, and the ready, we are going to pass 0 for not ready and 1 for ready. And by default, it's not ready to play the game. We're gonna use lobby service instance, create lobby async. We're gonna pass the lobby name, max player, and the options. Once the lobby is created, we are going to close the lobby search panel because we click on the button to create the lobby inside the lobby search panel. So we're gonna close that and call this open function here, passing the instance of the lobby, which is returned by create lobby async. So this is to show an error if there's a problem, and at the end we're gonna close the loading. So that's for the creating the lobby. Now let's create another function, and I'm going to name this join lobby. So this is for other players. So to join a lobby, we create a join lobby by ID options. So we have the ID of that lobby and we're gonna join it. Inside the options, just like when we creating the lobby, we are going to add the name and the ready state of our player in the options player.data. And then we are going to use lobby service instance join lobby by ID async to join that lobby. And then here we can just use open to open this lobby that we just joined by calling this function here. And then we are going to close lobby search because we joined from lobby search. I'm also going to create an additional function, but I'm not going to use it. We might use it later. So it's update lobby. It's just like creating the lobby. We're going to pass all those variables, but it's for editing the values. So it's going to create an update lobby options, assign the variables just like that, but we don't need to assign the player data because we already done that. We're only editing the lobby. So we're gonna call the lobby service instance update lobby async, and then we're gonna open the lobby if successful. So let's go ahead and take care of the open function. So let's create a bunch of variables. I'm gonna go through them one by one. So basically, when we join a lobby, in order to keep the lobby alive, we need to send a heartbeat to that lobby every few seconds. So I'm gonna use these three variables to send that heartbeat. We also can listen on a few events when we join a lobby, and this is to determine whether we are ready or not, and if we are the host or not. And we are going to store the ID of the lobby that we are listening on its events here. So in the open, first thing we're gonna check to see if the ID of that lobby that we are listening for its event equals to our current lobby. If it's not, then we need to start listening on those events. Then we assign the value of this lobby variable here. So also we need to assign the lobby name. We disable the start button, and we are going to set the isHost to false. And here we're gonna call open, and we're going to load the players here. So let's create a function for that. We are going to name this load players. So we call this load players here after we assigned the value of the lobby here. Then we can just call the load players. So first it's gonna clear everything. We're gonna loop through the lobby players count. For each one of them, we're going to instantiate a lobby player item prefab under the container. We initialize it, and then we also have a bunch of variables here to determine whether is everybody in the lobby ready. Are you a member of this lobby? We are also assigned the value is host, which means are you a host or not. And then we are going to enable the start button if you are the host. Also, if everybody is ready, we are going to set the interactable of the start button. Otherwise, we're going to disable it. You can't click on it. So that's for the loading the players. Here, let's go ahead and create the functions to subscribe to the events. To do that, I am going to create them here. So we can get notified when the connection status of the lobby events changed. We're going to create a function for that. We also need to get notified whenever lobby gets changed. So we're going to create a function on change. It takes a iLobby changes. If it was deleted, then we're just going to close this panel and that's it. Otherwise, we're going to apply the changes to lobby, and if the lobby is open, we're going to load the players one more time. We can have a function to unsubscribe from the events, and let's also create a function, call it onKicked. So whenever you get kicked from the lobby, this is going to get called. Now let's subscribe to these events. To do that, we are going to create a lobby event callbacks. So in the callbacks, we have lobby changed. So that's the function we created for it. Lobby connection status changed, kicked from the lobby. And here we're gonna use lobby's instance, subscribe to lobby events. We're gonna pass the lobby ID and callbacks, and that's it. So now we are listening for events in the, let's say, open function here. Let's just call subscribe to events async. So we also have a button to leave the lobby. Let's go ahead and create a function for that. Let's do it here. So in order to leave a lobby, we simply call lobby services instance remove player async. So that's it. We're gonna pass lobby ID and player ID. And let's create a function for the button. Here we go. We're gonna call it. And we're gonna assign the listener of the button to this. Also, let's create an empty function to start the game. So I'm gonna do it here. And we have a ready button which switch between ready and not ready. So let's go ahead and create a function for that as well. I'm gonna do it here. Let's name it switch ready. We are going to use update player options, and we're gonna change the ready variable in the player data. So we are going to say if is ready is true, we're going to pass 0 to change it to not ready. Otherwise, we're going to pass 1 to change it to ready. And we are going to use lobby services instance update player async to update the player data. And this is ready boolean that we have here. We actually assigned it here in the load players. Here it is in the function. When we are looping through the players, we're going to get a boolean to say ready. So it's going to take the value from the player data, and if the value is 1, it's going to turn it into true, and if this player is you, it's going to set that to that value. So let's go inside the initialize and assign the button listeners. First we clear the players and we assign the listeners to the buttons. For the start game, we're going to write the logic for this when we are implementing relay. So we're just going to leave it empty. So in order to send the heartbeat, we are going to create a function heartbeat lobby async. It is simple. We're just going to call send heartbeat ping async. We're going to pass the lobby ID. It's just to keep the lobby alive. And to constantly call this heartbeat lobby async, I am going to create the update function. And inside this, if the lobby is null, we're just going to return. If you are the host of this lobby and we are not sending the heartbeat, in this case, there's a timer and it's going to call this heartbeat lobby async every 15 seconds. So we did everything we could inside the lobby menu. Let's go to the lobby search menu. So we need to inherit from panel and use a bunch of services. Let's create the variables. That's the prefab for the lobby list item and the container for those prefabs. A button to close and a button to create. That's the close button, and this is just to clear the items under the container. So to get a list of the lobbies and show them inside our list, let's go ahead and create a function. I'm going to name it get lobby list async. First of all, we're going to clear everything. We are going to pass options, which takes account how many records we want, and we are going to use filters. Basically, we say filter those lobbies which have available slots. So this is the field we're going to check, this available slots. And for the condition, we use GT, which stands for greater than, and for the value is 0, which means bring us 25 lobbies which their available slots are greater than 0. They have free room to join. And we also going to order them by the date that they have created. Now we're going to create a query response, await lobby instance query lobbies async, and we're going to pass that options. Then we are going to loop through the lobby results. For every result, we're going to instantiate a prefab under the container and initialize it. And whenever we open this panel, we're going to override the open. We are going to get lobby list async. Let's create a function to create a new lobby and assign the listeners in the initialize. So in order to write the code here for the create, we need a reference to the lobby settings menu. So let's open the lobby settings menu here and inherit from panel to get rid of that error. So that's it, error gone. Now let's write the code for the lobby settings. So let's use these services and let's create an open function, which we can now go to the lobby search menu and call panel.open. We're going to pass null because whenever we create a lobby, we're just going to pass null. Whenever we want to edit a lobby, we're going to pass that lobby to our lobby settings menu. So let's go to the settings menu and write the code here. By the way, we can now go to the lobby list item, I guess. Here in the join, we can get a singleton of the lobby menu and call panel join lobby. So that's it. Now back to the lobby settings. Now let's create the variables. So a button to confirm the changes, a button to cancel, which closes the panel, and other input fields and drop downs for our lobby data. So that's just to close the panel. So we override the close, and whenever we close this panel, we also set the lobby to null. Now let's go ahead and create a function to assign for the cancel button listener. It's just gonna call close. A function for the confirm button, and here we can initialize this panel. So we assign the button listeners. We set the name input content type to standard, the content type of the max players to integer. We also set their character limits for the name to 20 and for the max players to 2. You can change them based on your need. So whenever we confirm it, we are just going to get the value of the name input, put it here. We're going to parse the value of the player count input and put it in this variable. A boolean for the is private, which takes the value of the visibility drop down. If it is private, we set it to true, otherwise to false. Also the value for the mode, map, and language drop downs, we're gonna store all of them inside those variables. If everything checks out, we are going to get a reference to the lobby singleton, the lobby menu singleton. If lobby is not null, we are assigning the value of this lobby variable here in the open. So either we pass null or we pass a lobby. If it is null, then we are creating a new lobby. So that's it, create a lobby. If it is not null, then we're updating the data of lobby. So we're gonna call update lobby. And at the end, we're just gonna close it. Now let's take care of the open function. First of all, we assign the value of the lobby. If lobby equals to null, then we are going to set the value of everything to empty. So otherwise, if the lobby is not null, then we're going to set the value of those inputs and drop downs to the values inside that lobby variable. We're just going to look inside the lobby data to see if that contains the keys we want. If it is, then we're just going to get those values and assign it to our drop downs. At the end, we're just gonna call open to open this panel. So that's it. Let's go to the editor and assign the scripts to the panels. First, let's do the lobby search. So in the code, I chose the lobby search ID. Let's do it here. Assign the container. So the close button, create button, and the container of the lobby items. We also need a prefab. So let's go ahead and create it. We also have the lobby list items. So let's assign the script, text name, players, host, and other variables. Also that one, and the button to join the lobby. Let's rename it. So I could go to my prefabs and create a prefab out of this one. And then here in the lobby search, we assign the prefab. So that's for the lobby search. Now lobby settings in the scripts. I'm gonna assign that. I chose the lobby settings ID for this one in the code. So that's it. Let's expand this. The confirm button, the cancel button, name input, max players input, visibility drop down, game mode, map of the game, and language. So that's for the lobby settings. Now let's go to the lobby menu. Here it is. For the ID, I just chose lobby. That's the container, and let's create the prefab out of player item that we have here. So lobby player item, that's the lobby player item script. So text name, role, the status and the button to kick. And we can go to the prefabs and create a prefab out of this one. So that's the lobby, that's lobby player item, which takes here. That's the content for the container. So we're going to assign the text name, ready button, close button, leave button, and the start button. We also need a button in the main menu to open our lobby. So let's go to the main menu, and here I'm going to duplicate this button, name it lobby, and let's also change the text to lobby. Now I am going to bring it somewhere around here. And now if we go to the main menu script here, I am going to create a button lobby, and then I am going to create a list of strings joined lobby's ID. So basically whenever we open the lobby menu, we're going to try to get a lobby that we've previously joined. So if we already a member of a lobby, we're going to open that lobby. But if we are not member of any lobby, we are going to open lobby search menu. So to do that, I am going to create a function here. Let's name it lobby. So first I'm going to open the loading, and we are going to use lobby service instance get joined lobbies. So this is going to bring a list of strings, which is all the lobbies that you've joined. So we're going to put that strings inside the variable we created up there. And the reason we're going to do it like this, because this is going to fail sometimes. There's a limit to the Unity services. You can't keep calling this function multiple times. You need to have some delay between them. So if for any reason it failed, we already have the items saved somewhere. Now we are going to create a variable lobby, and if our joined lobby count is greater than 0, then we are going to try to get that lobby, the last lobby we joined. We're going to get that one. So if it is null, we are going to check the lobby menu to see if we have this lobby saved in our menu. If it is, we're just going to assign the value of the lobby. Finally, this is where we make the last decision. If the lobby is not null, we are going to open it. If it is null, we are just going to open the lobby search. So let's also go and assign the listener for the lobby button to the lobby function. So now let's go back to the editor. On the main menu, assign the lobby button. So I think everything is ready now. Let's save this and let's play the project. So now if we go to the lobby, it is going to open the lobby search menu. There is no lobby here, so let's create one. I'm going to name it test. Let's say 3 players. We're just gonna choose a map and a game mode. And we also could choose a language, whatever you want, and confirm. As you can see, it's going to open the lobby panel for us. Right now we have only one player in the lobby, it's John, and it's the host. It is not ready. So if I switch ready, you see it's going to change the status to ready. If I click it again, it's going to say not ready. So when there is at least one player not ready, the button start is going to be disabled. But if every player is ready, it is going to enable the start button. And we can close this panel, and if we open the lobby again, it's going to open that lobby for us. We can also leave the lobby if we want. So let me get a build from this project. In the build settings, let's go to the player settings, and here I'm going to make it windowed, and also let's run in background. So let's build. I'm gonna place it in a folder I have in the desktop, name it build, and that's it. And here it is, our build is successful. Let's open it. I am going to sign in as a guest. So this is it. Let's rename it to Mike. and that's it. Now also let's open the editor. We have two accounts now. The first one is John, this is Mike. So let's go ahead and create a lobby using this one. I'm gonna create a new one. Let's name it Warriors. It takes 50 players, and we can change the settings that we have here. So finally we can create confirm. Here it is, it's going to enter the lobby Warriors. Now with my other account here, if I go to lobby now, it is going to open the list of all available lobbies for me. So here it is, it's the lobby Warriors. One of 50 players is online, and the host is Mike. It's the game mode, that's the map, that's the language. And if we click join, it's going to join that lobby. Now we are in that lobby. There's two players, Mike and John. They're both not ready, but because this is not the host, we don't have the start button. We have only switch ready and leave. And if we go here, you see that this is the host. We can start the game, but not now because none of them are ready. So if I switch ready here, the ready is going to change on both devices. As you can see, it's going to change. And let's switch this one to ready as well. And now if both of them are ready, we can start the game. We can also kick this player. And basically this is the lobby system. Now let's actually kick this player. As you can see, it's just going to leave the lobby. So I'm gonna finish the video here. In the next video I am going to implement the relay system, so the players would be able to actually click on the start and join the game without dedicated server. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.